Build that wall, 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 build that wall.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime.
There's just so many misconceptions that Americans have of Mexico and the Mexican people.
We're going to build a wall. It's going to be built.
There's no wall that can ever separate us.
Here it's literally Juarez and El Paso, which is why everyone kind of sees it as one, because there's no separation except for the fence.
So it would be tremendously expensive, inefficient, and kind of ridiculous to try to erect a huge fence or a wall over the mountains.
Build that wall, build that wall, build that wall, build that wall, build that wall.
People see Juarez and El Paso as one big city. We both depend on each other.
There's so many people in El Paso and Juarez that go back and forth every day.
My name is Olga Perez. I read an advertisement in the newspaper, in the Juarez newspaper, and they were looking for a nanny to go live in Austin. So I came for the interview, I got the job, they put me in a plane, and I went to Austin. I lived in Austin about probably 5 years.
Did you have documents at the time?
None. I'm coming one day, I'm coming home, and decide to come home to the border, coming from Austin on the bus, and I'm traveling with my baby son, a year-old baby, and I'm coming on the bus, and I was completely undocumented. We get at 2 or 3 in the morning, we get to this small town in the middle of nowhere. It was scary, it was windy, it was dark, and the driver announces that he's gonna pull over for 10, 15 minutes because we have a checkpoint. The Border Patrol is gonna come and check for documents. And I didn't realize anything until what I heard what he said. Even though you know it's possible to happen, you never prepare for that. So until he says, then I realized, yes, we're in a checkpoint. My heart dropped completely, and we're waiting for the Border Patrol to come in the bus. And the 2 guys from the Border Patrol get on the bus, and they start flashing lights on us and every passenger, asking for documents. And I had no documents. My heart was racing. I was for certain that I was gonna pull out from the bus and get deported or something. So the 2 Border Patrol agents come in, and then the guy that flashes the light on me, he flashes the light and he asks me for documents. I give him my ID card, I show him my ID card, which was no good, no nothing. And he flashes the light on the car, he flashes the light on me, but then he flashes the light on my son, the little baby that I was holding in my arms. He looks at me again, right straight in my eyes, and then he gives me my ID back. And he went away. He perfectly knew that I was undocumented, And I think my passport at that time was, I'm sorry, I get so emotional. I think about that time, my passport was my baby that I was carrying. And that's the only reason why he didn't pull me out of the bus. Because he goes, I'm not gonna put this woman with the little baby in her arms at this time or whatever. So he let me go.
They just see these guys in these green and white vehicles and the green uniforms and driving along back and forth, and what are they doing, and why are they harassing all these people, and why can't they just leave everybody alone or whatever. They don't really quite understand what the job of the Border Patrol agent is. But one of the requirements I've always said for a Border Patrol agent is, I think, number one, common sense. Another thing that agents need to have is compassion. You have to be a compassionate person and understand the plight of people, particularly with Border Patrol, where people are coming to the United States to seek out a better way of life. You get into situations where you're out in the middle of the desert and you got your lunch bag there and you got a couple arrestees in the back of your vehicle, and you're talking with them and find out that they crossed 2 days ago and they've been walking through the desert. They ran out of food and water yesterday and they're going to be hungry. So, most agents that I know, they'll open up their lunch bag and open up the door, say, here guys, have some sandwiches, here's my canteen, have some water. And that happens all the time, but nobody ever knows about that.
When we have long talks with my son or with my kids, we're still sharing and we're still ending up in tears. He graduated with an international business degree. He lives and works in New York. That's like one of my dreams come true.
Sometimes on the border here, you see all these reports or hear all these reports of the narcotics that the Border Patrol intercepted, all kinds of crazy things that happen, and you begin to form an impression of Mexico and Mexicans, which is probably not correct.
I was able to stay here for my son's education and for my kids to have a better life than I ever had.